It is imperative that in fecal sludge management realm, all stakeholders know and manage technologies, policies, and framework for the appropriate and best implementation of FSM services. But finding the right tools can be stressful, especially as you juggle reports, paperwork, and journals, all while racing to deliver the best. A certain guide is always helpful to make this all more manageable, easy, and efficient. In order to assist FSM practitioners, we have put together a step-by-step guideline, a roadmap, with various FSM resources placed alongside activities to effectively plan and carry out your FSM projects. The workflow has been adopted from the standard project cycle approach and curated based on the requirements of FSM practitioners. The workflow offers a checklist of suggested activities, which need to be fulfilled during the planning process for implementing effective FSM. And each of the stages are laid out with tools and non-tool resources. It is divided into 9 sequential primary stages, and an additional 3 components have resources which users can apply anytime along the program. Keep in mind that the FSM workflow is not prescriptive, and users can adapt the stages based on their needs. Stage 1. As part of the initial project identification, the exploratory stage aims to help conceive project ideas based on problems and needs. It could be through the community, assessing the existing problem situation, analyzing problems involving stakeholders, and reviewing existing country policies and strategies. All activities would be based on available information from the communities, authorities, and different development agents, and will be included in the Project Concept Report, or PCR. The second stage is the country strategy programming. It is a donor perspective to project identification, where the donor's country partnership strategy could be the driver. Donors work with each developing member country to define a medium-term development strategy and an operational program called a Country Partnership Strategy, or CPS. It shall be aligned with the country's development plan and poverty and sanitation plans. The CPS is developed in close consultation with the government and other country stakeholders. Stage 3. After the initial stages have created a desire for sanitation improvements, the assessment of the sanitation status and needs will indicate gaps and deficiencies. A stakeholder identification and engagement is recommended to ensure that stakeholders' needs and inputs are considered and incorporated into the early stages of the program. The city planner will understand the local needs and be in position to formulate FSM intervention strategies for further evaluation and study. Stage 4. Examination of scope and interventions in terms of strategy components in greater details. Based on the defined needs from Stage 3, this stage will identify strategy options and appraise them, checking feasibility and preparing implementation plans. The strategy components will have a detailed breakdown of responsibilities, resource requirements, and a comprehensive implementation schedule, guide of activities, and timeline. Stage 5. Appraisal of the program and its component projects would be carried out in line with the policy and guidelines of funding agency or donor. The purpose is to satisfy their requirements and obtain their approval. The 6th stage is project implementation. It starts with procurement and strategy implementation for the physical project, stakeholder engagement, capacity building, regulatory improvements, setting up institutional arrangements, and management, including financial aspects. This stage will conclude with project completion, commissioning, and handover. Stage 7. The project is up and running. Some of the operational aspects include complete service chain, operational guideline deployment, related regulatory operations, continual stakeholder engagement and capacity building, tariff adjustment and funding, monitoring, data gathering, and analysis. The outcome of this stage is the continuing operation and maintenance and management of the completed program elements in order to deliver the anticipated outcomes. Stage 8. Operational monitoring of key parameters need to be carried out on a continual basis, which will indicate the performance and effectiveness of the program elements. At stage 9 of the program, but not the last action, is review and correction. It leads on to the next cycle to make course correction and follow-up strategies. It involves evaluation of the project based on the status and operational and maintenance, technical and environmental performance, customer satisfaction surveys, level cost recovery, and evaluates the project's sustainability. You now have an idea of the 9 FSM program workflow stages, and you may notice the involvement of the 3 additional components in many of the stages: advocacy, capacity building, and media. Visit www.FSM Toolbox now to have detailed information on the FSM program workflow and unlimited and free access to all resources.